It's
totally
12 p.m., guys.
Hey.
So I think it's time to say, YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Buddha back in the building for another podcast with my fellow fishmen, my fellow Sahagin. We got Tweacz.
Yes.
And KryptMan.
I am the fish. I am the fish.
And KryptMan. Was that, did you just shoot the GYA out? Was that you, Chris?
Yeah, I did.
I was debating on whether to attempt that or not.
You gotta. We're fishmen.
And
we have to.
I salute you for taking the chance.
Ugh.
I mean,
Tweacz won't be caught dead doing that.
No, probably not.
Only in text, right? Only in text.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
So, from my understanding, that was dropped in JP. The Sahagin Cloudia 1 last April, or was it also in global?
I don't remember. Honestly.
I don't remember, but this is definitely the first time ever hearing or seeing of it.
Right.
Last April's thing was.
Okay.
Stupid fun though. So fun. Like, who'd have thought that just by replacing all of the sprites in the opening story, you could make such a funny set of quests. And I'm gonna go out there and say it. I'm just gonna say it. Black Sahagin, coolest Sahagin.
Yep.
Lancevale Sahagin,
Undoubtedly.
Amazing looking.
All they'd have to do to introduce beast shifts is just recolor them. Reskin them.
Bro, Sahagin Rangers. Red Sahagin. Green Sahagin. Black Sahagin. Blue Sahagin. Yellow Sahagin. Got it. We got the Sahagin Rangers.
I would take that over like DOH units for the next couple months. Easy.
just every banner is a shift Sahagin for the next like 3 months.
Oh my god.
Lancevale Sahagin, and then Eliza Sahagin, and then Davin Sahagin.
Dude.
Culminating in Shift Kyle Sahagin.
Right.
It's just Sahagin with Kyle's hairstyle.
Yep. The potential is endless.
Oh, man.
Oh,
that was a great April Fool's joke. And that's the kind of thing you should do, right? It hurt nobody. It set no expectations. There was no mean spirit to it. It was just fun.
It was hilarious.
It was
so funny.
It was
literally watching the intro, the first quest, and I'm just like, what?
Oh, I loved.
Why is this Sahagin talking about bringing lightning down? What is happening?
When we finally got to Rock Mechia, I lost it.
I know.
Like, this is hilarious.
It was so good.
Rock Mechia
with its freaking hyper beam that was just OP as hell.
Oh, so funny.
It was
so funny.
It was good times.
And then we had all the fish all over the map, and when you got all those, the Chungus fish showed up, which was really funny. The Chungus fish, which you failed to click on in your video.
I know. What an F, bro.
It was hard to click on it in mine too. Like it was. Just,
you had to get it right at like the bottom.
I was like, oh man, the comments are gonna be full. And sure enough,
there was a couple.
Comments were like, bro, you can actually click on the fish.
Yeah, no, I was grateful
April
for
Fools,
that.
I knew that.
Exactly. I'm like, wow, I guess this is just for aesthetics. Okay, fair play, Adis.
I mean, even if it had been, it would have been worthwhile.
For sure. There were some great screenshots on Reddit, and it was a good time. It was one of the most fun videos I've made in a while, so I appreciated it. I did appreciate it. But it was a distraction from the 2,000 events that are going on at the same time right now.
There's so many events going on at the same time right now. It's crazy.
Yes.
There is a lot. Yes.
I think a lot. I was trying to think of like my take on it, because obviously you guys have played through it already. This is my first time seeing, I think, all of them, and I think I'm worried that a lot of new players are going to be discouraged because these, like the final stages in all of these events, at least, I mean, I've done only Angel and the Fiend Part 1, Vagabond Blades, but the final stages are tough.
True. The Alice event's a little bit better. Like, it's relatively easy all the way through.
Yes.
But I mean, if you're just now starting, you're probably not going to complete like I don't know, 80% of the last quests in these. The
Yeah.
Logia event's not too bad. The Alice event is not too bad. The anniversary event is not too bad. The Glukiel BB Shin event can go away and never come back. Like I even completed it last year. Like I did the grind for the Paladin Shield last year when it took hours and hours and hours and whatever. And I'm glad people have a chance to get this stuff now. But like they can seriously take it away and never bring it back, and I'll be fine. The bosses in this event are garbage.
They're so annoying.
Yeah, it's like, oh hey, look, it's Ahura. I can kill this. And nope, you're dead. It's like, oh hey, look, it's Glukiel and Shin. I should just kill Shin and then take care of Glukiel, and then she goes Super Saiyan and destroys your entire team.
Yes, because you can't move, and she has an unlimited skill stock.
It's such garbage.
Yeah, it's not fun. I've not enjoyed it. It's really deterred me from like actually taking the time to focus and grind it, because I've been sitting here trying to just get the 400,000 points on chapter 1.
Yeah.
And it's annoying.
Yeah.
But, go ahead.
The advice that I would give people is like, finish out the Logia event. It's relatively easy. Finish out the Alice event. It's another one that's pretty easy and has like a guaranteed SSR. And then go back and do as much of the Glukiel and BB Shin events as you can, to the point that you can, at the very least, if you're not going to upgrade the gear, if you're not going to go for all the gear, at the very least get all the crystals out of the gacha boxes, which is not undoable. I think it's, several hundred at the very least. And all the pull tickets out of there. I think those are probably the two highest value things that you're not going to be able to, get later. They're like limited time stuff or whatever, like stuff not to miss. But by and large, like if you've got decent gear and you've got AERs and stuff like that, like a lot of this event gear is just kind of garbage.
It's not great.
The boots are okay for like 30% status recovery.
Yeah, the Paladin boots.
Distance or whatever. And like the Paladin set together where you have 3 pieces and it gives you quick trigger is cool, but like only if you don't have quick trigger or you don't have better equipment, or there's a lot of things you can do instead.
There's a lot to sacrifice 3 parts of your equipment space for just one quick trigger.
For a random skill pop.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, quick trigger is great and fun and certainly speeds things up. And especially if you're like new, it might behoove you just to get like, I don't know, the gun and the helmet and the chest piece or the shoes or whatever it is. 3 or 4 pieces of it. But like, don't kill yourself over the shield. The shield is not worth the grind. I've had it for the entire time it's been out, and I've used it maybe once.
Really?
Ever.
I mean, what is the draw for it? Because I haven't even checked. I haven't even checked it out.
I mean, it's allure, it's auto guard, and it's part of the Paladin set, right? That's pretty much its 3 main draws.
Yeah, it's one of the better defensive items in the game, just from
like an SC save perspective.
Yeah, kinda.
Is it part of your tank Bayland setup?
Yeah, he does use this. Because it has an allure stack itself, and it's got 70 defense, which is one of the higher. One of the higher stats for defense. In the game.
How does like allure and reject? Like, what do you know the percentages of those and how it works?
No, I don't. I think people have tried to explain it, but I've kind of just like overlooked it because it's not an exact science.
You can see
pretty
it
much.
work.
I pretty much just think of it as kind of like the ailments, not necessarily with their range +2, -2, but like with starting at 0 and then going +1, +1 for allures and -1 for rejects, and that the variation in those, like the difference between each unit is going to be more effective, obviously.
Because the AI resets who it targets after each attack, if I'm remembering correctly.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's why in the Glukiel and BB Shin event, you can target Glukiel and attack, and then you'll immediately be going after Shin again. Like, this is not what I told you to do. This is not what I wanted. This makes me angry.
Ew.
It used to be a lot worse, to be honest. They actually fixed it a bit for offensive or like attacking AI. But yeah, I really like it on a tank build. And then by tank build I mean bruiser build / just immortal build. Especially for my Balin, but yeah, it's a good item in the fact that it is a good defense and then adds a lore. So that's pretty much it. Auto guard, your guard is what, 1 SD, so like you're not saving much by doing it.
Does that stack this chance to auto guard and then just putting?
No,
it doesn't.
No,
I feel like guard's a binary thing. It's either on or off, unless there's something that specifically increases your chance to guard.
Right. The only things that specifically that increase your chance are going to be Calamitous Sword, and then we got the Bell of Warning, as well as Vigilance as the skill passive. So that's it. And then some unique traits for certain units, but it's not very prevalent.
Okay. Am I correct in, I think I remember reading that, going back to chapter 1, and this is kind of specific to me, but grinding the Nightmare extra battle is more lucrative than the Godlike. Is that correct or no? Or is that even really, does it matter?
I remember that being something back in the day. Like the Godlike is not always the best to do.
Because I think it was a double.
Emma might have some input in this in chat, because I don't know the exact statistics of it.
Because I think that's where No, he said wrong. Godlike was once a day.
Yeah. Yes. That makes sense.
We can always count on Emma for the correction.
Yes.
I mean, yeah. So Godlike, a lot of the things in these events were only limited to once per day. So that's why we couldn't spam them. But apparently Godlike is the best.
Oh, it does have better event points than Nightmare. Okay.
For event points? Oh, yeah, absolutely. This is the one I spammed 100%.
How much is it again?
It was like, at full bonus, it was
more
like...
than double.
Oof.
Damn.
All right, if it's more than double the Nightmare, then yes, it's the best.
Well, I got to my 400k, so it is what it is.
And I mean, we have
damn
near 2 whole weeks to finish these out, right?
Yeah, bro.
Like I just finished I just finished Alice's event yesterday. I don't think I'm super far off from finishing. Oh, I'm done with the Logia event too. I've done part of part 1, part of part 2. I don't think I've done any of the conclusion for that, and I haven't done any of the anniversary match. But like, anniversary match is more than a month long. You know, we've got way a ton of time to finish that. So I mean, really, just finish this at your own pace, especially because they're giving us so many refreshes on stuff.
Right.
Like, you know, don't stress it or kill yourself over it. Take it a little bit at a time every day, and you will get there inevitably. So just space out your time. Just be aware of what rewards are what's going to be the highest value for you. There's a ton of good stuff in there. There's a ton of enhancement materials. There's a ton of crystals. So really just kind of, you know, break it down into what you need, and then go after one thing at a time until that's done, and then
definitely the equipment in each is, I mean, should be the most sought after stuff. Just because we're not going to get that back, especially in the Logia event, where it has the swords, the tree winners, the violet tree winners.
Yeah, those are actually really good.
Yes, they're very good. In which case, people have asked many times in chat, should I buy these in the Crimson Ore shop? And we're like, absolutely not. The event will come back. Like 10k Crimson Ore is a lot, and that goes along with the Bayland coat as well. Like that event's probably going to come back at some point. Like, we're just waiting for it. Like, do not spend Crimson Ore on event materials.
That's good to know, because I didn't realize that the Crimson Ore weapon was the same as the one you can grind out right now.
Yeah, that was the thing they did briefly, was they added old event equipment to the Crimson store for just a second, and they stopped. Like many other things, that was an idea that got like halfway fleshed out, and then they were like, let's do something else instead.
What after that? It's not been added. I mean, I guess just most of the event equipment's not been very specific. There's only been minor things, but
there's Lilibet's crossbow.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't add that at all. But...
Yeah. Which that one's not bad at plus 40. Or is it?
I mean, I don't use it, but
right.
It can be good. It's also a machine. It's not necessarily a bow.
Does she? Doesn't
wild.
she? She doesn't have any high.
She did high boost? No.
For machine, no. That's
No,
Mary.
but she has that that trait where she needs 2 out of the 4 certain types of weapons equipped to get her cat bonus and all that stuff. So machine is one of them.
Okay.
It's like machine, bow, staff, and sword.
Yeah.
I think her 4 choices.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's a lot of good stuff.
I like that style of doing passives, right? As opposed to like, you have to have a single sword or you have to have 2 swords equipped. And so, like, give me options, please. Give me options.
It makes it more fun when theory crafting, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
All right, so I guess nothing crazy interesting with these events. Then it's just
2 other pieces of equipment to note are the Paladin pistol is apparently 10% crit, which is not too bad for a little machine, and Alice's event armor, which has an effect like royal armor but slightly worse. Also, what's up, Demi Luna? Hello, friend. he was bringing those things up in my chat.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Demi doesn't play this game anymore. He's not allowed to comment on like that stuff.
Demi's account still plays this game.
Oh my gosh.
Not
wrong.
Yeah, not wrong.
Facts.
Funny.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking on current events, then banners. A lot of people, a lot of new players are asking, should they summon? Should they chase?
I mean, I feel like I can sum this up pretty easily. No. There's your answer. Don't summon at the very least until we know more about what's coming next. Like until we know what the anniversary banner is going to be like. Just wait. It doesn't cost you anything to wait. Like worst case scenario, you'll be a week or 2 behind on a character, but in the grand scheme of things, a week or 2 in this game is really not that much.
No.
Right. And these banners, like the Roland, the Alice, the Degrogue banners, are all active for another 12 days at least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We will
certainly get information before.
Exactly.
Right.
So
just wait. Just hold. Hold.
But I will say the best, if you are a new player, the best thing you could possibly do is the Countdown Arc banner. I think Crypt, you would agree. There are 2 specific arcs in this game that are permanent that are probably worth the price tag, being Caldina and Sandworm.
Mm-hmm. Which, if you didn't get those in your reroll,
right? If you didn't get those in your reroll and you've been playing for a little bit and you still don't have them, and you still have story gems to use, this is not the worst place to get it if you want to guarantee yourself Caldina or Sandworm. So and that means you must spend 15,000 gems for one specific arc,
right?
Which it does sound like a lot if you're still relatively new and you don't have a lot of stuff. It could be worth it. I know for a fact that if I was in a certain position, I would be getting probably Sandworm, just because the wield is so prevalent and so very good in this game.
Do you still think it holds as much value as it used to with your top tiers like DB Ray and Alice and?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so good that it's one of the reasons they are the top tier, right? Is because they have it innately.
Facts. Yeah. That's a good point.
But essentially everybody who doesn't have it wants it.
Is it?
So it's just one of those things. Like it's so much value because it doesn't just double your hit count, right? It effectively doubles your damage cap. It doubles your break and feint damage. It doubles your chance to activate on hit things. It doubles your chance to get a critical hit, which activates on crit effects.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much value. And it's like, wow, 14 SC is expensive. And it's like, yeah, but if you break each of those things down, how much SC would that cost? Right?
Right.
Like any one of those things is going to be like a 10 plus SC, investment. And instead you get it all tied up in a nice little package for 14 SC. So yeah, if you're missing either of those, they are extremely high value.
Okay.
There's a couple other ones too that I really, really like. Ghost Hime is one of my favorite arcs for various reasons.
Bad. Do not suggest that they get this.
No. I'm saying if these are things that you're missing and you have the means by which to acquire them, like this is not necessarily free to play advice. This is like if you are willing to drop some money into the game and there's specific things you're missing, Ghost Hime is one of them that I would go after. I think it's one of the most important arena arcs because of the way that it interacts with the healing meta right now. Like it's so nice to just have all of your enemies healing right out the gate.
Right.
And like the curse thing where dark magic does curse, there's a whole combo around that's very meta for arena. But I like Ghost Hime. That would be my third choice if I were a person without Ghost Hime and, means to acquire it. But that's the only off-brand suggestion I'm going to make.
That was the advice I gave. I think it was Dango asking me about this one because I think he's missing both. He's been playing for at least I think a month, and he doesn't have either. And I said if you have the spare change to drop enough for that 15,000 to pick these arcs up, go for it. But I just feel like if you hoard everything and then just spam summons on a second year anniversary banner or, a UR step up banner that could potentially come in the future, you're going to get Cloudia and Sandworm.
Potentially. But I mean, it's all RNG.
Maybe not.
Maybe not, but man.
To this day, with the thousands and thousands and thousands of pulls I have done, I have never naturally pulled Lila. She's a day one unit.
You did mention that.
She's always been there. I have never pulled her.
You did mention that.
I got her off a selector.
Right.
Much like this selector that is available now. But the most important thing is it gives you a target, right? It gives you a definitive end point for, okay, I invest 5K, 10K, 15K. And then I definitively get one of the things that I'm after. And maybe on the way there, we get something else. But this is something else we've talked about, is like having targets for your pulls. Having a definitive end point is not only like a necessity for free-to-play accounts, but it's also better for like your mental health. And that's that's something you can't be slacking on.
Very, very much so. Yes,
you're not wrong. That's the struggle of the gacha gaming life. No doubt about that. All right, well, I get that. I hear the points there. It's definitely it makes it a lot easier to judge when there's an objective fact. I spend this much and I get it. So
right. Definitive endpoints, because like chasing things with unlimited like downside is not a great idea. And that's in every facet, but especially in gacha games. Don't chase things that have unlimited downside.
Right. Yeah, I was in that ironic situation. I don't know if you guys were watching my vids or remember, but I used the New Year selector ticket to pick up Sandworm, and then I think my immediate summon on the Tyria banner after, I pulled the freaking Sandworm.
Nice. Well, now you can extend dual wield one time and it'll be faster.
To teach. Yeah. There's always a price.
It gave you, 5% ether as well. I mean,
It's not bad.
And there was no way you could know that.
Exactly.
There was no way you could know
You're right. It's just an ironic situation to me.
In hindsight, it is very easy to beat ourselves up because it's like, oh man, I should have. But you know that now, right? Now you know that. You didn't know that then. There was no way for you to know that then.
Right.
Don't be harsh on yourself like that.
Yes. Yeah. No, that's true. Like you said, that plays an important part in keeping your mental health better.
RNG is going to be RNG. You can't predict that.
Luck
Just
is luck.
When you're able to guarantee things for yourself and you have the means to do so, that's the best way to do it.
For sure.
Especially in this game when the pool is being constantly diluted and you have such little chance to get all these permanent arcs specifically. It's pretty nuts.
I wish, looking back, because we have this Q&A.
Crypt, you are typing a lot, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
I
like get that keyword ASMR.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised no one actually brought up talking about restructuring their pool.
Right. Well, with how excessive and aggressive the SSR pool has been, I am surprised they haven't raised that percentage on pools.
Because statistically,
like the overall 8% SSR on pools, like
mm-hmm.
because we just don't get SR in our pools anymore, and the fact that they're still keeping it that 8% or 5% for arcs and 3% for units it makes it really tough to pull
right
anything that's been there for a while.
That and just like 8% is actually a pretty good SSR rate for the gacha games I've played. But when your SSR pool is 35 plus, the chances of getting anything in specific are just asinine.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same as a UR arc. Like, it's
at that point.
I mean, it is. A UR arc on banner is going to be the same exact.
It's a bit
rate
insane.
as an off banner SSR.
That's something that we frequently bring up in the Q&A sessions. Which, by the way, there's a Q&A session tonight on the LC Discord with Kit and Take-san. So if you're interested in getting some answers from some pre-recorded questions, and then they usually open it up live to the floor for some questions, you can ask all of those questions that you have burning in your little heads.
Yes.
Now, that doesn't guarantee they're going to answer them. Definitely helps to structure the question in a way that's not like, hey, tell me what the next collaboration is going to be. That's not going to work out for you. But there's definitely like cool insight that comes from these sometimes. A lot of times it's kind of nothing answers, it's like oh yeah, we'll take that in consideration, or oh yeah, that might be cool for the future, or stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it is cool to be able to interact with the PR team and the translation team and all that all at the same time.
Just for clarification, because this recording won't go out till tomorrow, but as for the people that are here, that's going to be 8 p.m. Pacific time, or 11 p.m. Eastern time tonight on April 2nd. So you go and miss it tomorrow if you listen to this. On Saturday.
This is up on my my channel as well. Yeah. But yeah, for the people picking this up on Buddha's channel, you missed it, and go back to the Discord and check the Q&A channel, and there will be a bunch of answers and a whole conversation that you missed. It's gonna be great. You're gonna feel so left out.
There'll also be a Buddha video covering any gems that I find, because I've been very harsh with my words about the Q&A in the past. So
fair.
I'm glad you were a bit more positive with your explanation of it than I would have been, Krypt, which I think is good.
I still said the answers are a lot of nothing burgers.
Yes. That part just frustrates me beyond belief for some reason. It's the dodging that just kills me.
All the true questions I need answered, they will dodge, unfortunately.
It really sucks.
You also have to realize that there's stuff they cannot talk about.
And I wish
there are things that are outside of their power or scope to be able to talk about.
And I wish that was the answer.
For sure, but it's also very important for them to manage expectations. Like we've seen what happens when they fail to manage expectations correctly, right? The whole community freaks out. And so for them, they don't want to speak out of turn. They don't want to say things that are going to not necessarily end up being true, even if they're true right now, which is why it's always, we'll have more news about that in the future for you. And I mean, yeah, it's like an hour of nothing sometimes, but it's still a level of interaction that we don't get from a lot of developers in a lot of games. At least they're making the effort to be visible, interacting. And sometimes there are some little gems of knowledge in there. So I always try to put forth as many good questions as I can. I tend to get some answers.
They love you, Krypt. I remember from before we had ever spoken, directly, my first Q&A review, I was just like, man, they're just answering this Krypt guy like every other question.
They did.
I mean, I ask a lot of questions, and it's all phrasing. Like, it's all about asking it in a way that they can answer it, or that makes it incentivizes them to answer it, basically. But yeah, there was one Q&A where I asked just a ton of questions, and I got a ton of answers, and somebody referred to me later as the pin cushion, because all the answers got pinned.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully it's like that this time, because yeah, like you said, it's a lot of fluff and political dodging, but there are some gems that come out of it for sure. And even one gem of a response can be worth the entire thing. And like you said, the interaction between us and them is huge and something we don't get.
I love seeing them interact with the community the way that they do, because like they'll answer, even if it's not like game stuff, right? They'll answer stuff about, like, I don't know, the GameStop thing came up last time. And that led to the Shibui meme that we've got now. That's Taka-san's face with the arrow pointing upward. Because they said something about like stonks last time. So I think it humanizes them. I think it connects us to them a little bit more than if there's that, like, you know, wide gap disconnect that we deal with a lot of times.
That's definitely true.
And I mean, even if it's not, you know, the greatest insight into everything, even if we're not going to get all of our questions answered, even if they're going to dodge the really important stuff, at least we know they see it. Right?
Yeah.
That's another thing. We know it's in front of them. It's like, oh, well, you read that question before that and you read that question after that. There's basically no way that you missed that middle question. It's like, I know you're deliberately skipping that, but at least I know you read it.
It got in front of their face.
Yeah.
I agree. All right. Yeah, I'm excited for that. We'll see how that goes. I'm
excited to read about it, because I'm never there.
Yeah, well, that'll be me. This is the first time I'm not staying up just because of.
Fair enough.
I'm done with that. Rather be sleeping.
If I'm not there, who's going to ask 9 million questions?
I know.
Do it up. I'm okay with it.
You're the representative, Krypt.
I got to be there as part of the mod team anyway.
Oh, true. That's right. You got duties.
Dude, responsibilities. Being a mod, it's all the responsibility and none of the fun.
Facts. Should we talk? We put a pin in Dami Mami last podcast. We did. I know Tweacz, you're just now getting to experiment with her in PvE.
Yep. PvE specifically. I have literally not touched her in PvP yet, but yes, I did finally finish building out her skills this morning. Just because multiplayer is done, and I got her to 4th Awaken, so far level 91, and I did max out her SC, so she is ready to go for me. She's awesome in PvP or PvE. Like, her innate ability to smack damage while also being thick. I just put out a video about her soloing Pablo, which again, these days isn't that crazy with the power creep that we have, but I don't use sharp eyes. I'm not using any really skill boosts except for pretty much Slayer. No strength, no brave, no pride, no nothing, and she's capping. Like,
that's ridiculous.
Her dark boosts are just insane with the spear. So
her multipliers are huge.
Oh yeah, and I knew that going in, and I'm just super excited that I don't have to use any of that on her. Like, no attack ups, no braves. I mean, no. I think I used 2 SC of attack ups, but like, again, not really necessary. I just had 2 extra SC. So
you get to use all the like fun, flashy stuff.
Right. It's kind of cool. Like, I used the new Conryu spear style from the Empire of Might arc. Like, I was just like, all right, I'll throw this on here. Why not? And she's pretty much just a blank canvas as to whatever you want to do with her, because she does slap. And this is only level 91. Yes, max SC, but only Awaken 4. So she only gets stronger from here, which I will be 6-starring her. So that's in due time.
I'll have her 4th today.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got her max SC already. I started running her in Arena at level, like, I don't know, 70 something. Mm-hmm. full ability board. Obviously, don't go into PvP without an ability board. What do you wear your pants on your head? Like, don't do that.
Some of us do, Crypt. Some of us do.
But yeah, no, she's a killer. I'm running her, Tsukasa, Gen, and Imtheria because I wanted to try out some new stuff because I'm bored of all of my old teams. So I started messing around with that, and it's pretty effective, my dudes. It's
weird,
pretty effective.
Weird. 2 units of Human Slayer, weird. I couldn't imagine.
I can't imagine it'll be good.
But that's the thing. Like, what do you do when you're fighting a team full of Slayer immune units or a team of non-humans?
Sure.
And the answer is it doesn't matter. Degrogue kills them anyway
because she just tears their dark
resistance. Are ridiculous.
It's real nasty and real fun. She's also, I don't think you touched on this, Tweacz. She's got some very unique ways that she can run in PvE specifically, but it also kind of bleeds over to PvP a little bit. Do you want to talk about her very unique MP regen combo, Tweacz?
Interesting. Yeah. So
I mean, hey, if you don't want to talk about it, you can keep it under wraps. I'm not gonna
I mean, dude, honestly, I would just direct people to the Meat Man's video. Dude, this guy figured out, or whoever figured out in JP, as to what the Bloody Moon arc does. So there's a little thing people probably miss. It says when absorbing damage recovers 1 MP. Well,
that seems bad, right?
That doesn't seem bad.
When I get attacked, throw on a bunch of damage absorption? Like,
yeah, what the
damage
hell?
absorption's bad.
No one wants that, right? Well, in her case, in Degrogue's case, her S3 on every single hit absorbs some damage. Now, did we realize that this also meant attacking absorb damage? No, we did not. So, whenever she has a dual wield hit, now this is also with the arc equipped, right? So this is an arc passive. You have to have this equipped.
But it's not a bad arc to begin with.
No, it's not, because I mean she does status ailments with her pay too.
Yeah, I was looking at that.
Along if you're hanging out with V, like it's really not that bad. And not bad strength either. But if she hits with her S3, and on every single hit it absorbs 5% of the damage that you hit. Well, it doesn't really matter how much damage or absorb damage. Any of that is going to regen 1 MP on every single hit. Now, this is not on the output of hits. This is on every single hit on every single enemy she hits with her S3.
Oh my gosh.
When she hits with her S3 and you have this arc equipped, normally, single wield, against one enemy, it's going to regen 16 MP. It's a 16 hit skill. Dual wield, it's going to regen 32. But that's where it gets nutty. If there's more than one enemy and she hits 32, wait, there's another enemy, another 32. Oh, wait, there's a third enemy, another 32. She can regen 32 MP per enemy she hits with that skill.
You don't even need Goddess Kiss at that point.
I mean,
although that also runs very well on her.
So she does hit pretty hard with her regulars in the first place. So you can use that to your advantage if you don't have a S3 up or whatever. But so Meaty Man, or whatever his name is in JP, I'm probably butchering it because I'm not a native speaker of that language. But
I wonder if it's like Mighty Man.
Yeah, Mighty Man would make a lot of sense. He's established in his, and I translated his description in the video, which, I mean, if anyone can link that video, Emma, if you could possibly link that for people who are listening, they can go check that out. Essentially, if you have 3 enemies, you're going to regen 96 MP per S3, which that means if you have a 3 stock of S3, which is going to, you're going to need to be using the purple orb skill from the DMC, one of the DMC, the mobile office arc, to get a 3 stack. But in order to do that, you're going to need, so a 3 stack against 3 enemies is going to give you 96 times 3 HP, or sorry, MP.
And a crap load of HP.
With an absolute full health HP. But with that that amount of MP, you're going to be regenning enough to do Honey Elixir again, which is 200 MP, exhaust it all. So every Honey Elixir can be against 3 enemies is going to be immediately regened on 3 stocks of S3, and it's a pretty fast skill, to be honest. You do spam, spam, spam. Within 4 or 5 seconds, it's done, and then you can reset another Honey Elixir to do it again. It's an infinite loop as long as the 3 enemies are alive, and it's completely disgusting. You will see in the video if you don't. I mean, it's gonna be hard to see it on the recording, but if you're in there right now, it's around the 3-minute and 30 mark. Yeah, 3:24 is Emma just posted, but just look for that because he uses it in the Pablo fight and against when there's like the 4 split Pablos. It's just the MP regen is just absolutely disgusting, and he's using this arc along with the S3.
Wow.
It's one of the most ridiculous
combos
that we've had in a while, and I am so very grateful that this dude figured it out, because I mean, I didn't use it in my Degrogue solo versus Pablo video just because I didn't want to be the same thing. I didn't want to like just copy him. So it is, but yeah, it's very, very effective.
That's crazy.
And something that's never worked before on any unit, which leads me to believe that we should probably go test units that have regen on skills, but I don't.
Yeah, have fun testing Blood Rose.
Yeah, right. Like, but again, I'm pretty sure that's meant for him in the first place. Like,
yes, oh for sure, absolutely. And that's
it's cool to have a unit and to be able to use this. But I mean, this is just like, so we forget about all these SR arcs that have these weird niche little passives that, because if you asked me to explain all of these SR arcs and what their passives were, I couldn't do it because I just don't look at them. There's only a few that I know the passives for, but like mostly it's usually one passive of it. Bloody Moon, I had no idea this was even on here, and I had forgotten about it because I haven't looked at it for
like
forever. Ever. I knew about the status ailments. That's about it because I remember looking for like V and Logia arcs that I could use, but like the absorbing damage recovers 1 MP. Didn't know it could be used for attacking. Thought it was only defensive damage absorption. So, pretty awesome that that's a part of the game. To be fair,
that's a great find.
That's one of those things. Like that's one of the reasons that the Ark system is so interesting, right? Is that there are going to be, like, that's probably not even an intended interaction.
Why don't
like, when they Degrogue, they weren't like, oh, it would be really cool.
Right.
Let's make a character that utilizes this thing. They didn't think about that. They were like, let's make Degrogue and let's make her have a bunch of damage absorb. Yep. Done. Easy. Cool.
No, this reminds me. Why don't I just actually go do it?
That'd be cool.
That actually brings up a question from me to you guys. What is your favorite like niche kind of sleeper arc that you think not enough people know about? Like R or SR? What is an arc that you think is underutilized?
Oh goodness.
Because
I feel like my most utilized arc, in general, is the Swordsman Tail arc. Like that's my favorite arc to go to for physical DPS on any boss modes, pretty much anything. Like, and I feel like people just overlook it. I don't know why.
Swordsman's Tail? Is that what you said?
Yeah, the Silver Gray Swordsman. It's like 2 separate names, but yes.
That's Balin's
arc.
I was talking more about like the lower rarity stuff.
Yeah, R's and
I'm
SRs.
Throwing it out there. That's definitely underused. But okay, continue. We can discuss because I don't know.
My answer for that is always Moonlit Murder. I love Moonlit Murder. I think it is a fantastic arc. I think it's great for God mode. I think it's great for anywhere you can blind enemies. It's great for that 1 in 1,000 chance to instant break bosses. You never count on it, but when it happens, it's really funny.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
Watching a regular attack go off and a boss go from 99% break bar to 0% break bar, amazing.
That happened in I think it was my Gen video, and I was like versus Reaper with him, V, and Theria, and I was just the Death Triangle video, and it's just like that last 25%, and then for some reason, Reaper just goes and break. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, Moonlight Murder is fantastic. It has that ability to instant kill fainted enemies, which is great for cheesing your way through like really, really high HP like minion enemies, like just wave enemies, not non-boss mobs. It's also very good in tower if you don't have a built mage and you have to get past those the stages with the crystals, because you gotta find some way to kill them. And if you're doing 1 damage, it's still 1 damage.
Right.
And once you faint them, it's like a 3% chance or something to just instant kill an enemy. It's great.
Oh wow. That's a
yeah. So that's that plus Death God is how I got through early God mode stages. Because time stop magic is boring.
Mages are just not what they were. Sadly, I'm trying to think, but I'm too new to know.
Fair
because
enough.
all of my souls go towards my SSRs. So I have almost zero knowledge on your final R and SR attributes.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Fair enough.
One of my favorites, I mean, Man-Made Ether is just probably my favorite arc to use at this moment, just because V is so prevalent. And the fact that it doubles, or it goes plus 3% essentially on all research skills, it is invaluable. It is the only arc in the game that does that. I mean, there's the witch arc, the witch's arc, right? That does it adds plus 20% to the initial boost, so it's like 3% becomes 3.6%. But sorry, excuse me. The Man-Made Ether arc actually just adds an additive 3% to each whatchamacallit, each research skill, which is just so good.
That is nice.
6% versus 3% is just huge. I think Meowing just threw in the Altar of the Forbidden Book. I don't think that's slept on though. I think that's a very well-known book that's really good on.
That's a pretty used one, especially if you can get like an AoE heal loop going, where your character
glass record.
Half price glass record over and over.
It's so good.
One that kind of came and went in like public awareness was Thunderstone Luster. Is also very good, in that it gives a chance to stun when you use lightning magic, and so like lightning gauge that starts big and closes in and stuns or hits the unit in the middle of it and flinches them over and over and over and over again. You can just keep doing that until you stun stuff. That works great in arena. It works great in a lot of PvE scenarios. So Thunderstone Luster is another, like, in my opinion, now underutilized arc. Because there are a lot of great resources in those R and SR ranks, right? Mm-hmm. There's a bunch of cool stuff in there, but people just ignore it. People want to play with the new shiny SSR, UR, whatever.
Absolutely, crap. Like, absolutely ignore all the SR and R arcs. Let's go.
Absolutely, and that's why it's why it didn't occur to any of us that Bloody Moon is actually super bonkers. We're too busy ignoring it.
Well, that's why JP just still holds the crown of all gacha gaming.
Oh, they're way.
Right. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Just real quick, watch this.
Okay.
Let's see if I can get this to make it work. I'm gonna use this. Hopefully, I don't ruin it. But watch the MP. Which, I mean, if it would work, that'd be great. But that was 116 MP.
Good lord.
116 and 1S3.
It was laggy, but the point got across.
So laggy.
That is one of the other things that I have found that will drop frame rate on iOS is if you get like 5 or 6 enemies and you S3 with her with Bloody Moon equipped, the game does not like that.
It breaks.
Even a little bit. The only other thing that I found that will drop iOS frame rate is I had 2 Logias doing their S3, a Zekis, like an original Zekis, doing his S3, while Starverse from AOG Lily went off. And that dropped the frames slightly.
Wow.
But now we've got the new thing that I can throw in there. I'll S3 with Degrogue using Bloody Moon at the same time. So Degrogue, Logia, OG Zekis, and AOG Lily is the frame rate killer squad.
Watching all those
we out here murdering frame rates
is pretty satisfying. All those MP regen ones.
Weird. I'm just not, and I can just do an instant honey elixir and then just S3 once again.
That is stupid, man.
It's so beautiful.
Listen, beautiful.
When I agree with what you're saying. It's stupid. It's beautiful.
But so good. Stupid is a compliment when I say
yes,
it.
I agree.
99% of the time.
I'm seeing an upgrade in the future for, I don't know what Degrogue's PvE rating is right now, but maybe
it's really high.
Maybe a bump there.
It's already very high.
I mean, dude, if we can make it work with this arc and an instant S3 and whew.
Yeah. I mean, what you put her at like a 9.7 or 8 already.
I think that if for whatever reason you have to pull a character right now, and if for whatever reason you are split between Degrogue and Alice, if you have a bunch of the specific setup stuff for Degrogue, probably her. But Alice is probably a better unit just straight out the box with like ether release and all that. She's got built-in honey elixir essentially. So if you have really specific setup, Degrogue can be just brokenly amazing.
Yeah.
But
it's a lot.
There's considerations.
Yeah.
I think she's like she's some whale bait is what Degrogue is.
No doubt. Yeah, Alice is too. It's still like, at least coming from a very early game perspective and seeing, yes, her potential, Degrogue's potential is just insane. However, Alice allowed me to beat tower. You know,
Alice's ult with his Lord Sword is just one of the best things in the game.
That was
for PvE content.
Exactly. So. Her ultimate is one of the most new player friendly things ever.
It's so strong.
It's so fat. The damage is so fat. So yeah, I mean, that's why I understand, and I tell people, like, if you're early game and you've got all your story to grind crystals out, go ahead and throw some summons at Alice, because if you do pick her up, she's gonna make your early game experience very fun.
My game does not like this right now, so we're just gonna we're just gonna do that. And this is not iOS, this is emulator, so like this is not gonna work.
I can't believe I forgot to like highlight the Steam question in my prep question video I made.
What kind of question is there about the Steam?
If they're willing to shed some more details on their status with that.
As far as like a PC client coming to global? Mm-hmm. I mean, they've said that it's like
it's a work in progress.
More of a possibility for the future now than ever. Right. I mean, I guarantee somebody's going to lean on that question tonight. We've got, actually, I can probably tell you how that's going to go down. Somebody's going to link to Demos's post with like 60 or 70 upvotes in the dev feedback channel and be like, is this enough expression of interest?
Yes, I know, because it's been like that the past 3 Q&As. They're like, if you guys are interested, every Q&A, if there's enough
I think we've been bringing it up since the very beginning. I've been bringing it up since the very beginning because I've always wanted to stream this game, and it's much, much easier to stream when you have a built-in PC client that's optimized, as opposed to having to go through an unoptimized emulator or 15 feet of cables and adapters to put an iOS image up on the screen. So, you know, I personally think it would help the streaming community for this. I think it would help the YouTube. Like, wouldn't you rather capture stuff straight off your computer?
Absolutely.
Like smooth gameplay straight off your computer?
100%.
It's so much easier.
Amazing.
So much easier. So I guarantee that's something that's going to come up.
Yeah, Barlene.
If not by anybody else, then I will bring it up.
Yeah, good. Yeah, definitely do, please, because they've said it's in the works for global specifically, or at least Barlene did.
Yeah.
But multiplayer pushed everything back. Now I imagine. And what?
And continues to. It got taken down. That means they're actively developing for it again.
Yes.
So that's some amount of allocation of resource on their part toward that, as opposed to anything else.
Yes, which is fine. I'm fine because I miss multiplayer.
And it was super fun.
I'm not gonna front.
Yeah, Tweacz, I'm withdrawing from this. How are you doing, buddy? I know you got in even more hours of this than I did. So,
I'm doing great. I don't know what you're talking about. My sanity is still there.
I miss it.
You know, I mean,
I would still be doing it if it was up.
I'm glad it's over. Like at this moment, at this juncture, because like that was a lot.
Dude,
there's just a lot to manage.
Weeks and weeks of grind, back to back to back, of some of the highest value events, and like
Stone jumping into this,
DMC, Stone, this, like it's been what, a month?
Straight heat. It's been like 5
weeks.
It's been
2 months.
Been 2 months. Yeah.
2 months.
Yeah.
Of just like constant, not necessarily like need.
Good God.
Incentive to. And now we have like 50 events to do.
But I got that screenshot though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dude, and what's crazy is this screen we're looking at right now, nothing was purchased. There are no material bundles that Tweacz is wailing on.
No.
This is pure grinding insanity we're witnessing right now.
You actually can't buy those.
But it's like, mad respect.
Dude, you had to do it.
But I mean, now you literally never have to worry about.
I have to worry. I have to worry.
Do you?
What if I go below 999?
Do you wake up at night and you're like 999 is the new floor?
But that's the thing. Like, if I forget to do grand ability gates one day, like it's not a big deal. Like it's just
I
comfort.
feel like that right now, and I don't even have a fraction of what you possess.
999 is the new zero.
But that's the thing. Multiplayer will come back, and who knows if the rewards will be as good, but it's going to be good. You're going to want to keep playing multiplayer. Time-wise and efficiency, no, but I mean, it's still going to be worth to play multiplayer. Absolutely.
And I mean, most people still have the rings to go after too, to acquire over the course of time.
Yeah, I don't think
not everybody has emptied out that trading space.
Multiplayer was not designed to do it the way Tweacz and Crypt and the pros, even myself to an extent, grinded it when it was here. It's not meant to be grinded like that.
It was baited so. They baited me to do
They baited you, yes.
They want
compensated us. With rainbow clusters.
I appreciate you, Adis. Thank you for giving me rainbow clusters.
But you're
like, have to worry about them again.
To any other players, like you're not slacking because you didn't grab all 3 rings. You know, like it's meant to be a long-term grind based on the design, in my impression.
This is a marathon, not a sprint.
Yes.
Always has been.
Tweacz just has some crazy stamina that none of us possess.
Master of the million mechanical hands. Also, I hear he has a very highly trained cat.
A very highly trained cat. That's what everyone asks. Are you up grinding still? Yeah, my cat's doing it for me.
Wow.
I don't need to answer that question. You know the answer. You know the answer.
Well, speaking of Tweacz projects, I just want to kind of close out our segment, unless there's anything else you guys have to say. Why do you have 2 friends, Tweacz?
Hey guys, sorry in advance for anyone that was on my friends list that I yeeted, but this is like something I stumbled across last week, Crypt, when I first brought it up. And I realized,
I've got this crazy idea.
I got this awesome idea, which is kind of hard to explain because most players in the community won't be able to do this. So the reason I only have 2 friends right now is so that I only use them when I have an infinite friend refresh. And unfortunately, the first aspect of that is the infinite friend refresh. What the heck is that?
There's layers.
This is news to me.
Onion.
There's layers to this. So unfortunately for most players, and 99% of the players in this community won't be able to do this, when you are using friend supports, you will be using units usually plus or minus 3 ranks to you. Friend supports are totally based off of your own rank. So I'm rank 40. So I will be using all units, all exhaustible support units from 37 and up. The max rank right now is 41. Congratulations to Bland for getting there first, but I will not be using anyone above that because that's obviously the highest. But
it's funny
lowest I will go,
even though his name's different now.
Of course, I mean, I know.
It took me a second to figure it out.
Of course, you know who he is. He's a madman, and he's clearly been grinding out his unit levels and all that cool stuff.
That's who I've got pulled up on my stream right now. Is
very cool.
GameStop is what he's named right now.
He was Game Stonks for a little bit, or GME Stonks. Yeah. It was great.
He was Geronimo for a while.
Yep, he switches his name around, but that's Blam. He's our residential madman for
Space Leviathan.
Getting everything in the game. And wow. I got to throw him credit for getting rank 41 because I'm not that close yet. I mean, I'm close, but at rank 40, this is a lot. This is a lot of space left. Yes. So the reason, infinite gem or infinite friend refresh. So once I exhaust all options, well, first I gotta explain. You guys probably know whenever you use a support unit in a quest, it will go away. Well, there's a way that you can use all of your support units, and that's called auto run. If you just if you continuously use, I mean, it also depends on your exhaustible units, right? So if you're a little lower ranked than me, you'll have a lot more units to use throughout the ranks, like plus or minus 3 to you. So you won't exhaust them very easily. Now at rank 40. It only takes about 150, 200 quests or so to get rid of, not get rid of, but to use all units in the game and all accounts in the game that have a support unit at that rank. So after that happens, after they've been exhausted, you now have an infinite friend refresh, essentially.
Wow. Okay.
So I am going to go into a map right now, and I'll show you what I mean. So when this happens, normally your friend usage is like you'll have plus 15 for your friend. You'll get friend points for plus 15. And any randoms, you'll get plus 5, right? So whenever I go, let's say do Imperial Guard Commander 3, this all says plus 0. So he says like next to the hand, plus 0. That means that I can't get any more points for them, but I can use them infinitely at this moment. Because I've already run through every single random support that I could possibly go through, and now they give me everything back for plus 0. But if I use Crypt or Deimos in an event or in a map, the AI, the full AI, the rematch AI will give only friend units back. So whenever you go into the next quest, it will only have one of your friend units set up.
Yeah.
So I only have Crypt and Deimos right now because we're getting to it. Because they have the level 10 Theo UR Arc. Now, why?
It goes deeper than that.
We're still digging.
So I want to use the same 2 friends on every single quest after I, get rid of everything else. Why? Why would I want to do this? Well, whenever you're building units, you're soul farming, right? You're using a solo unit or maybe 2 units, but you're using not many units to get souls when you're grinding them out. Like on Finding Theria or IGC3, you're completing the map, but you're trying to get souls for that directed specific unit. When you're using a friend support, it doesn't cost any souls to do so, but you can use this arc. The specific one we're looking for is increase unit soul drop in quests by 2 times. Now, what does that mean? It increases the rate of the soul drop by 2, plus 100%. Now, why? Why would I want to do this? Why would I use? Well, it's a free level 10 UR arc on my support for every single quest I am continuing to run after the units have been exhausted. This changes a 5% drop rate in a hard mode map, aka Finding Theria hard or Imperial Guard Commander 3 hard, to a 10% drop rate now. It's literally doubling the efficiency of a soul grind for a solo unit. Now, I stumbled across this And yes, this is the most elitist thing I've ever done. Delete my entire friend list in order to spawn refresh 2 specific units and friend units that I would like. Specifically Deimos and Crypt, because we've all talked about it and we've all set up our Vs so that we can have an instant clear IGC3 for...
He literally sent a message and he was like, okay, guys, all right, I'm down to just Theo friends, but I want to take it further.
I want to take it further.
I want 1 second clear Vs, like only 1 second clear Vs.
Yeah.
So I can do IGC3 with literally any unit.
Any unit, right.
And we were both just like, yeah, okay, done.
Like, I'll set mine up if you set up yours, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is, I mean, I didn't really need to explain this, Buddha, because people are not going to be able to use this ever at all.
I know.
But if you want to just make me seem like the most elitist person in the community, which is right now very true, because I am getting twice as many souls per day as I would have been. It is literally doubling the entire efficiency of soul grinding. So,
we're going to see more and more people up at the top end doing this. Which, by the way, if I remove you from my friends list, just send one of my alts a friend request. Their units are better than mine anyway. You don't. It's fine. It's fine.
Yes. Not many people are going to be able to do that.
The idea with this is, it's not terrible to be doing this, right? Because, I mean, first of all, it's not like we've been doing this. This is I just came across this and thought about it.
New.
This is very new. So like we've not been grinding with this forever. And this is pretty much new information, very relevant. The thing is, unless you have a high account, you can't use it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it doesn't work.
Like it's not like you can just be straight up jump into the game, pay to win, and then just get a double soul grind. Like you can't do that because you can't acquire the infinite friend refresh because you're not high rank enough. Like that takes a lot of upgrading arcs, the ether grinding, the unit level grinding, the unit awaken and enhance grinding. Like it takes a lot of resources to do so and a lot of time. So I mean, I'm not surprised none of us have thought of this before, but this arc has also only been released for a little over a month. So it took some time. I'm sorry, guys. We didn't get on this immediately.
A lot of people are going to be disappointed.
Think about it, right? But
we knew it was going to be crazy, but because of the associated cost, like you don't want to run 500 red souls unless you're like completely and totally capped out on red and you've got nothing else to do with them. You don't want to run 500 red souls per run.
No.
So the like pin was figuring out how to do it for free.
Yep.
Right. Exactly. That was my biggest drawback against this arc. I was like, I'm never gonna use this for my own for 520 red souls. Like that's just literally a waste. Even at cap, I'm only getting 800 quests worth, if that.
Which is not
like
a lot.
I'm not, and then that's exhausted my complete red collection. Like no, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
So
because like, what if a new red arc comes out and you need to level it up real quick? What are you gonna do if you've got like 20k red souls? Nothing is what you're gonna do.
Nope.
Right.
Yes.
So I mean, this is just the most ridiculous.
I just wanted to hear
100% an exploit. Like
yes.
I don't want them to know about this, which is why I didn't want to say it. But it is themselves. This is.
You could have told me that. I wasn't. I'm not trying to hold a gun to your head.
No. Like I'm sure they know that infinite friend refresh is a thing. So like the fact that we've manipulated it to make it work like this is kind of ridiculous, but
yeah. I just wanted you.
It's literally just Deimos, Crypt, and I, just the three best friends that anyone could have, and just
SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward
stuff.
I just wanted to hear you lay it out because yes, one aspect of it is being the ultra megalodon that you are, but there's also a ton of thought behind it. Like it is a very complex strategy.
That's all I'm here for, dog. That's all I'm here for.
I mean, it's like the Bloody Moon thing, right?
Yes.
It's that one weird niche interaction that's just hiding over there in the corner, waiting for somebody to notice it. Yes. And I guarantee there are more of those. Like I guarantee there's more stuff just like that that we haven't seen yet, that we haven't, fully explored. There's new units that are going to come out. That are going to have crazy stuff that are going to make all the old stuff do weird things. And that's, I feel, the appeal. One of the things that is appealing about this game is that it really offers that like very crunchy, technical, like, it's a monster raising RPG. You know, this is Pokemon, with every Pokemon being customizable to the nth degree.
So awesome.
So fun. Yeah. I love it.
Also, one thing I want to shout out real quick, because I believe, speaking of Adis seeing and or hearing things, that as a direct result of us talking about the Phantom Holy Blade and the mistranslation on it that has existed the entire time the game has been out, it's now correct. It now says 100% boost to Killer Slayer attack power in Phantom Tower battles. Yes, sir.
After we talked about it.
Kit pinged me in the Discord and was like, oh, hey, by the way, those translation notes, we're going to have those fixed.
So do you think that was...
Wait, hold on a second. I got to check something real quick.
I'm not going to post this.
I got to check something.
I'm not going to post this one, guys. I'm going to cut out the end. Are you showing off something? I'm in the chat right now.
They didn't fix Icy Guardian yet. Rip.
Come on.
Mention it and tag Kit in the dev feedback, because he's the translation guy specifically. But yeah, if you've got like translation issues, post that stuff in dev feedback. Maybe don't always tag Kit. In fact, maybe don't tag Kit at all, because you might get banned for it. But just like note that it's translation stuff. And that will probably get passed along to him. So yeah, really that's an example of like, they just need some of this stuff brought to their attention.
Yeah, I mean, there's a small team, I imagine, and this is a very complex game, so you can't have your head everywhere at once, like Tweacz.
Right.
You're not wrong. I'm everywhere.
I know.
You said you're going to cut this off, right?
I mean, honestly, we could discuss that, because
I just was going to make a comment about where Tweac's head is. If you're going to cut this off, then I'm not going to.
I could bleep it out.
Listen,
I think the implication is enough. Did we want to do questions and stuff?
I was going to say, yeah. I mean, we ran a little over anyway. If there are anyone with specific questions, I'm fine hanging out.
Best
for a
question
second.
from my chat: who's more shameless, Crypt or Tweacz?
It's definitely Crypt. Yeah.
Yes. As is tradition, you can't be shameless without plugging that every single day.
He plugs his stream at the end of everything, so it's
absolutely
you have to.
I post my stream in the non-stream channels. Although I've also recently been posting other people's streams in the non-stream.
This is true.
channels.
This is true. Crypt shameless plugs everyone. He's an equal shameless plugger, so it's fine.
Absolutely. It's just that I'm usually the only person doing it, so like I don't have anybody to point to. But yeah, no, there have been a bunch of people who have picked up streaming this in the past week. Shout out to Dope Smoked, who is going above and beyond to like get all of his stuff running, and he did probably a 4-hour stream yesterday, something like that.
Oh wow!
So if you haven't followed Dope Smoked on Twitch, go give him a follow. Let's help
Dr. Dope?
Is that Dr. Dope?
Yeah, that's probably the same thing. Probably the same person. I would assume.
Sure. I think he's just Dope in chat.
Yeah, that's
that's Dr. Dope. He's dope. Dope is dope.
Okay. Yeah, he's the homie,
He's a cool
and I
dude.
feel like he started playing recently, and he's loving the game and going hard on it. But
he's a good dude.
he and I have been talking a little bit just about like stream stuff and things like that behind the scenes. So big shout out to him. Actually, I can do a real shout out.
California did have a question.
He does. Do you want to read it off?
He says roadmap of future content similar to my attachment in the chat above. Thoughts? Yeah. So the one he's referring to is I saw it before, the countdown like gacha, like roadmap, and again that's fantastic because they're giving it to us ahead. They gave it to us way ahead of the way ahead of the anniversary, the month ahead. Now, here's the thing. I would love to see this happen in the future, but I think the only reason they gave it to us, and the same thing they did with the Stone event, is because there's so much stuff that they're willing to let us have a roadmap. I don't think this is going to happen every single month just because.
Don't kill my dreams, Tweacz.
I mean, dude, it's just but because of there's just so much stuff. Like the Stone was all these banners, and we were most people from last year were PO'd about how they didn't tell us there was a new gotcha and stuff halfway through and like all that stuff. So I think they're trying to be as as transparent as they can, but I don't see this being a consistent thing as much as I would like it to as well. Because I really, really like the banner and the even if they said, hey, new unit here, story update here, and that's like it, I'd be like, all right, dope. Like, that's all I need. Just give me some direction, but I don't know. I don't see it being too detailed from here on out.
I'll make a point to ask them about that tonight and talk about how it's gotten such good community response, because it's amazing, right? To like know what to save for and all that. And I get that it's kind of because it's the run up, right? And it's kind of because it's a bunch of rerun stuff. Like, they're not going to be like new banner, new unit, new banner, new unit, new banner, new unit. Like, that's not particularly useful to us. But getting any sort of roadmap, having any sort of extra information on where we are going, because we're all on this bus together, right? We're all on this bus and we're all headed the same direction, whether we like it or not, whether we like the people who are driving the bus or not. We are all subjecting ourselves to being on this bus. And for a long time, the bus driver didn't say anything. And then they turned around and they said, oh, hey, by the way, the next 30 stops we're going to make, here's what they all are.
Right.
And that's amazing. That's incredible. I want that bus driver.
Exactly. And that's just so important to me, because that's the kind of stuff that I attribute to keeping people around.
Yep. Absolutely.
The foresight is, if you know something cool is coming, or even have an inkling that there's something on the horizon, it makes you stay, rather than be like, I'm bored of this and I have no idea what's going on. Oh, look, a new gacha. I'm going to play that. It can be that quick, differentiation between the two that it's important. So, well, cool.
It's been fun.
1:16 p.m. Right? I think we'll wrap up here. I'm trying to think. I got all my check marks listed on the show notes. So,
good to go.
Thank you guys, as always, for being here. Thank you to my co-hosts, Tweacz and Krypt, for being.
Thank you for having us.
The pros. And we'll discuss, try and figure out one for next week. And run it up again. Make sure to go watch Krypt. He's still streaming. I imagine he's going to continue.
I just linked.
I gotta get in on this. 1 second. Let me get.
I linked the message.
Get
it's
not
the
even
plugs. Like just my stream. It's the link to the stream channel where it automatically linked when I started.
I love it. So good.
Shame.
Cool.
Nope. No shame here, friend. No shame here.
Are you plugging something, Tweacz? Did you say you're plugging something?
I mean, I might as well, at this point.
Yeah, go watch his video. Degrogue
this one
Pablo.
is the minimal plug.
Perfect.
But, just go watch it. It's pretty good.
I love it. I'm going to go watch that right now. So, on that note, guys, I think that's all we got for you this time. So, you know what we say. Work hard, play harder. See you in the next podcast.